aim inconsistency, a terror that results in hair being ripped out, keyboard smashed, and even broken dreams. If you are struggling with aim inconsistency, don't worry, me too. There are 3 primary causes of aim inconsistency. Luckily for the both of us, Royal G explains the first perfectly.
Good at spraying, good at headshots, right? And then you have someone who is okay at spraying, or maybe bad at spraying, right? And someone who is great at headshots. In my opinion, when you are a player in this situation where you are okay at spraying and great at headshots, you are playing with an imbalance in how you actually are.
Basically, if you hyperfixate on only hitting headshots and never develop your skill at hitting body shots, you're putting a handicap on yourself. And don't worry, I'll be explaining exactly what he's talking about here and giving some clear examples for you guys to make understanding this a little bit easier. Most Valorant content nowadays places a metric boatload of value on hitting headshots, and I can't even remember the last time I saw a Valorant video covering shooting the body. I mean, when you watch a highlight clip, it usually goes like this. Jett 1v5, pops knife, up drops around the corner, one taps Sage, flicks so fast you can't even see. One taps the KO, throws a 360 in there for good measure before jiggle peeking into the opping Omen. One taps him as well. Chucks a classic as a fake flash for the last 2. Wide swings out and one taps both the Clove and the Brimstone without letting go of left click. It's an all too common highlight clip, but it's not realistic. We're talking 1 in 100 games, if that, and some of you guys are trying to replicate this every round. However, body shots are important too. First of all, it's impossible to keep perfect crosshair placement 100% of the time. So when the enemy Reyna peeks out and you find your crosshair a little too low, just recognize that it's okay to hit the body. If I see my crosshair on the body at any point, you know I'd be clicking as fast as I possibly can. Getting the slow on the enemy is extremely powerful and oftentimes can convert into a kill. So going back to the example, if your crosshair is on the body when the Reyna peeks out, just shoot the body. Don't do that fancy shit where you try to flick up to the head, because chances are you're going to miss your shot, whiff the rest of your mag, and then lose the fight, when you could have just had a free quick kill with 4 quick body shots. So aiming in Valorant is a little more complicated than in aim trainers. You can shoot the legs, you can shoot the body, you can shoot the head. Body is easier and can slow the enemy, but headshots deal extra damage. It's not that one's always better, it's just more situational based on what you need at any given time. Here are some examples of what I mean. Let's say you're on bind holding short from the corner by U-Haul, but then the Jett peeks out shower to your left. Luckily he wasn't pre-aim you, but he sees you about the same time that you see him. In this situation, I would flick extremely fast to get close. Initially, I would go for a quick headshot, but if I miss and he's moving in a weird way that I find hard to hit, I will instantly go for a body shot tag to slow his movement. From here I make a decision. If he has more HP than me, I will again go for a headshot now that his movement is slowed and he's an easier target. I don't want to risk him just hitting one body shot and killing me. If I still have more HP than him, however, I will make sure to keep my movement hard to read by making small steps to the left and to the right. That way, it will be hard for him to land a headshot on me. And then, I'll close out the fight with just 3 more easy to land body shots. The key takeaway from this example would be this. Don't be scared to switch between aiming for the body and aiming for the head within the course of a single gunfight, because depending on the direction the fight's going, you can change the tide of the fight by using your best judgment. This tip from Royal G didn't fix my inconsistency by itself, but it definitely has helped me become a much more confident aimer now that I'm able to comfortably fall back on body shots. So what's the second primary cause of aim consistency then? Mental fortitude, confidence maybe, but most definitely not arrogance. Just ask anyone. Confidence has one of the greatest, if not the greatest impact over one's aim. But how do we get confidence? And better yet, how do we use it consistently? Let's take a look at what Royal G says about this later on in the same coaching video we were watching earlier.
Your goal as a player is to increase the realm of control that you have. Try to figure out ways to increase the influence, right? And then resolve the things that make you stressed out by virtue of ignoring or recognizing you have no control.
Right here, he's basically just saying this. In Valorant, there are factors you can control and factors you can't control. In order to maximize your confidence and mental strength, you should increase your influence over the things that are controllable, such as communicating strategies with your team, and ignore all other stressors that are uncontrollable, or at the very least recognize that it's something that's out of your realm of control. I thought it was a really great example because in the diagram he gives, the center is what you have most control over, then the middle is what you have moderate control over, and the outer edge, you have no control over anything. Basically, confidence is important, and there's a system for mastering one's confidence. It doesn't have to do with just acting, because that could easily become arrogance. It instead relies on a system of identifying what you do and don't have control over. Then slowly over time, you increase the range in which you have control and eliminate all stress that comes from outside of your range of control. Then as you get more experience succeeding in your range of control, your confidence will also increase in unison. Yeah, I know the mental side of things gets a little more technical, but I think it's really important, especially if you're trying to take your game to the next level. As for the third reason your aim is inconsistent, usually it's due to poor sleep, poor exercise, poor diet, even just general body health. This is self-explanatory, and if you're lacking in any of these, you probably already know which it is. I haven't really taken a deep dive on this topic myself, so I won't get too into it, but I know from countless resources that it's very important. So if you are thinking about taking a deeper dive into any of these, I definitely recommend doing so. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot the bonus tip. Simply put, decision making. I made a video explaining this more in depth, but aiming is easier when the enemy has bad movement. So like if they're running straight at you or not moving at all, it's going to be an easier shot than if they're strafing side to side with A and D. So if you can develop your game sense to the point where when you take duels with people, their movement is usually bad, your consistency in gunfights can get a lot better. Overall, if your aim is horrifyingly inconsistent like mine, just know that there are steps that you can take to fix it. Let's get it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.